Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, viewers. Welcome back to Shore to Shore. It's good to be back in the studio. As you know, due to some of the investigations from the FBI, the CSETI, and SPR, we were forced to silence the truth that is Shore to Shore. But thanks to the dedication and discretion of Emily, or as you may know them, Prime, we have been approved for one small episode. I'm very excited to be here, very thankful. Um, we've got a very, very interesting program for you today. And I'm gonna have to apologize because I don't know how to use Twitch yet and its inner workings, and I'm going to do my very best to learn. Thank you, thank you. My soul patch isn't the only magical thing to happen tonight. It's good to be back though with all my faithful listeners, maybe the curious listeners as well. I am your host, Red Chime. For those of you who don't know me, I am a facilitator to the supernatural, paranormal, and extraterrestrial. Behind me, I have many years of experience with investigating the often misunderstood and unknown. I've had run ins with Bigfoot, the Fresno Nightcrawler, and even the ever elusive Mothman. I have met Elvis Presley post death. I've been known to tangle with some night creatures now and then. If you have any questions about any of the amazing creatures, beasts, aliens that I've seen, please feel free to ask them. Are you related to the CEO of PEE? Unfortunately, I don't know what PEE is. I'm assuming it's paranormal extraterrestrial enemies. I do not have any relation with enemies. Have you seen the elusive Pispo? Pispo is very new to me. I do not know who Pispo is. Prime has told me at least one story about this Pispo creature. If you guys have any reports, feel free to share. As far as I know, they are, from what I understand, a being from another realm, perhaps the Piss realm. We're going to get into different universes a little bit later tonight on our docket. We've got a lot of really great things for you that may or may not include Pispo. Thank you so much. We're going to get right into it. The first thing that I have to share with you is a new cryptid. Now, people might say they know what a cryptid is, but I don't think they've ever met this new cryptid that we discovered recently in Wisconsin. I did not discover it, a viewer did, and that viewer shared their information with us. But we're going to talk about the new cryptid, the Freak. So, as all of you know, there are many different cryptids. This one, the first sighting was in a Wisconsin school parking lot at exactly midnight 02. The Freak is said to be between 2 and 7 feet tall, with long touching fingers, small, very wet eyes, moist even, and a scrubby style of toes. The toes are very important to this creature because we do believe that the Wisconsin Freak does get its energy from toes. Both its own and its friends, and even the viewers like you. The Freak is described as having scrungly was the word our unnamed witness used. Hot dog skin of a hot dog, cooked or uncooked, we do not know. A bowl cut that looks like it could be a wig, very badly done lace front, and it does leave its multiple glutes out in the open. When I heard that, I was enamored. I knew I had to find out more about the Freak. I've never ever seen a creature with multiple glutes, and I think today was the first day that I saw someone with multiple glutes, and it was the Freak. This witness, who was asked to be unnamed, watched the Freak rummage through a garbage bin like a ravenous rat. Witness A said the Freak stopped momentarily to sniff at something, presumably a piece of garbage, and then continued. So it was aware that maybe it had gotten caught and it had sniffed in fear, maybe. Um, movements were like stop motion, jittery and scary. These are their words and not mine. I have seen so many things, and I would never be scared of something like that. Never. Never. I have seen so many scary things. That is not something I would be scared of. Um, but this freak would often stop to sniff these things in this, in their words, scary manner. The witness, whose name is Reuben Charman, tried to get a closer look at this freak, and what he saw shocked him. The freak was breathing so much, more than normal, a million breaths a minute even, like a tiny scared hamster. And when he saw Reuben, he lost his shit. Excuse my language. Their words, not mine, lost his shit. He scampered away on all fours and made a sound that could either be described as a G or an H. Um, Unfortunately, we're not able to get audio, so we are unsure of the sounds coming from this person or this freak. The freak was also sighted working at a Walmart warehouse in a liminal space. He was using his long touching fingers as forklifts. So if you guys don't know, liminal spaces, they exist all over the world, and they're just kind of freaky spaces. And that goes hand in hand with the freak. We do think the freak belongs there. I'm not sure if he's going to be forklift certified. I don't know if cryptids can. And considering it's not an actual forklift and it is long touching fingers, there's no way we can know except to actually see the freak himself, which we may never get to. But even if we never get to ourselves, we do have some amazing artist renditions. Not this. This is a pile of dirt. Which one is it? Let me... Ah, yes, here we are. This is one of the many pictures of the freak. As you can see, we have... Let me move out of the way so my loyal listeners, my loyal viewers can see this. This is the freak. This is the first foray with the freak. You can see there's double glutes in this area. That's a very large pen. Double glutes. You can see the Walmart greeting thing, perhaps? This does look to be a Walmart. Long touching fingers. There's a lot of proof here that this is the freak. Or at least freak adjacent. I think we might have one more photo. I think this was the enhanced one. I'd like to be able to see the live version of it. Give me one moment. It's quite freak adjacent. God, there's so many terrifying things that I have here. Terrifying things that people would never want to see, but I will share them with you tonight. This is another beautiful photo of the freak, an artist rendition. As you can see, the legs here are below. These are double legs on the bottom instead of legs on top. As a researcher and investigator of the paranormal, of the extraterrestrial, of the occult, I do have to ask the question, which butt does his excrement come out of? The top or the bottom, or both? Does it rapid fire 1-to-1? Is it something that they can choose? The wig here is looking slightly ajar. I would hate to have seen this in person. Do you think this freak could be related to the Booty Creek Cheek Freak? I do know the Booty Creek Cheek Freak. I have seen them. I think they could be enemies. I'm not I'm not a cryptid shipper. I'm not an anti-shipper. There's a lot of different things up in the air, but I do think they would be enemies. Do we know if it isn't one for poop, one for pee? I I don't think anyone has ever caught footage of the freak going to the washroom, and that will be our next investigation to figure out what zone comes out of where. Because this was in Wisconsin, there was talks that maybe, perhaps, the freak was actually related to the Beast of Bray Road, which, if you guys don't know, could be this creature here. Um, it is known for going around Bray Road at night and scaring people. Also, perhaps being an alien or a werewolf. We're not sure. Um, I am here to say I don't believe that the freak is the beast. As you can see, the beast is very furry. It only has one butt. That's honestly, the beast has very small fingers. I think I have some other information here. Yep. So, as you can see, these have long arms, but this footage, you can clearly see that he doesn't have long touching fingers, and he only has one butt. I mean, one posterior, one rectum. I doubt this could be the freak. Um, Also, I don't think Walmart would hire this man. No offense. Here's something. This is a picture that means that maybe it is a freak. As you can see, he's in the middle of the road. It's been circled so you can see it better. Um, that could be the freak. If you're looking closely, it could be the freak. Um, I do believe I have one video that I did want to share. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay, this is it. This is proven footage of the Beast of Bray Road. Again, I'm not seeing this as the freak. I don't think the freak could move like that. Do we need to see this again? I'm not sure, but I just want everyone. I really don't think they're the same person. The freak, his eyes are small and wet, but no wig. No wig. And his skin does not look like a hot dog at all. The freak would have better moves, absolutely. Oh, and give me one moment. We're gonna go for an ad break, and then we'll be right back with our second conversation of the night. A new conspiracy. Mud is a drug. We'll be right back. Hello, listeners, viewers, all of the above. We are back with Shore to Shore PM. I am your host, Red Chime. We have just finished our segment on the freak, and now we will talk about the newest conspiracy, a conspiracy that might not be a conspiracy that might be the truth, or is the truth. Mud is a drug, and the government wants us not to eat it, so they say it's bad for us. A little dirt never hurt you. It's a saying that most of us have heard from our mothers, and how wrong they are. Last February, I was given access to top secret FBI files, and let me tell you, I am a brave man. As I said before, I would not be scared of the freak. I was not scared of Elvis Presley. I have come across more than I would ever like to admit, and I rarely ever feel myself wanting to look away. But what I found made me sick to my stomach. The records I found stated in plain English, plainer than the light of day, mud is a drug. Mud that the dirt the earth gave us is a drug. It's a hallucinogenic at that can cause the user to feel what they describe as ascend to the mud realm. I have spoken to a handful of people who have experienced the mud realm, and they have described it as the reverse of nirvana. So, not heaven, not peaceful, almost like a hell. A place wet and wriggling, and perhaps even dismal to some. People have expressed that coming back to this reality, our time and our space, they have felt a sense of belonging and peace, while others have said it's turned their life into a living hell. Mud is definitely has a duality to its experiences. Some have what seems like they come out better after taking this horrible drug, and some it's ruined their lives. Uh, Viewers, please do not be alarmed. Do not do as I do. I did try mud, and I did visit the mud realm. What I saw there did not shock me, but it did surprise me. I saw myself, uh, red chime made out of mud. This mud chime, red chime, gave me a tomb of some sorts, a book made of clay and mud that I could not read. I can read in real life. I'm reading right now. I can read the chat, so I know it's not a fault of mine. Um, but he gave that tomb to me, and then in a mud tongue told me a secret I still do not know to this day. The mud realm is real. It also has a tendency to look somewhat like the world in Minecraft. If you guys have played Minecraft before, it's rounded and there's more dirt, and the Endermen there are made of mud and clay and dirt. With this being said, please do not try mud at home. It's dangerous. It has taken lives. This is why the government doesn't want us to know. They don't want us to have the power of mud and the mud realm. With that being said, it is only proven that 1 in 3 million people can be affected by it, so you don't need to take the risks. What I saw in the mud realm has forever changed my life. Please, don't go chasing waterfalls. I have brought some artist renditions of what the mud realm looks like. If you are faint of heart, I urge you to look away now. So this is mud before mud. This is dirt. Dirt has no medicinal properties until it is mixed with water, and then it looks something like this, I believe. Yes. So you can see the stones and the pebbles and whatnot. It's very wet, moist, wriggling. A worm could be in there. I did see some comments about worms. I'm not sure. I did not see a worm in the mud realm, but there could be a worm here. Please, if you or the faint of heart, do not look at this next photo. I do have two photos of people from the mud realm. It is terrifying, it is scary, and I don't want to cause any undue harm to you. I am flipping to the photos now. So this is the first one. As you can see, they still have humanoid eyes and nose, teeth, but they are made of mud. They are in the ground. I'm not sure if you can see, there's kind of a neck going down. I'm assuming that they are buried underground, underneath. There might be some sticks and twigs, as well as some plant life. Terrifying, horrifying. And the next one, just as horrifying. As this is a mud child, and it also has some regular people, some unmudded people standing. They have been completely consumed by the mud. I am not sure if this person made it out alive, and I hope for their safety. This is the reality of mud and the horrors that can happen from it. I am very thankful that I got out of the mud realm alive, and I didn't have to worry. I never have to worry about that again. I will never do mud again in my life. Now that we've talked about two very important points, I will take any viewer questions or concerns about either the freak, the mud realm, anything in between. I am very paranormal. I do deal with the devil and the angels. So I have a lot of information. While I am waiting for a question or two, I will be getting ready for our viewer segment. We have multiple stories about terrifying creatures. Zeta, please ask. Is the devil cute? That's a very good one. The devil is most likely very cute. The devil changes form, shape, and size depending on who it's around. I've only seen it looking like Tony Soprano. As you know, Tony Soprano is one of my greatest heroes, and so when I met the devil, he looked like Tony Soprano. What happens when you make mud with vodka instead of water? Does that make it worse? I have heard that it does make the mud realm more violent, and much more wet and moist, squelchy even. I do not recommend taking mud, and I definitely don't recommend mixing it with vodka. When I took the mud, I had mixed it with rainwater. I wanted it to be natural, as our forefathers and whatnot have tried it out. Although the rainwater today, as you know, is Monster Energy drink, so it did have a different. I think our mud realm now is definitely different from the mud realm back there. I am very tall, actually. I'm at least 6 feet tall, perhaps 7 feet. Mudslides, I believe mudslides are the mud realm's way of trying to lure us in. It is the people of the mud world reaching out and trying to bring us home. 5 kilos of mud sells for nothing on the street, but if you can find an FBI agent, if you can find CIA, even a local McDonald's worker undercover, they will buy that, no problem. 1 mil. Would the mud realm be calmer if mixed with holy water? We have not done any research with different liquids yet. I would assume the holy water would change either the consistency or the general atmosphere of the mud realm. Do not take mud from the Red Sea. Do not. That is not mud. That is something completely different. I cannot say on this podcast. I would get both me and your lovely friend Emily banned. Breaking Bad. I know this because I was a part of the producer team for Breaking Bad. When Breaking Bad first came out, we had pitched it as Tony Soprano selling mud. Um, Unfortunately, I was let go from the team after that. Um, for obvious reasons, they did not want the viewers to know my truth. Uh, and the Breaking Bad you see now, completely different story. Do not be interested in the Red Sea mud. Do not. So one of the parts of Shore to Shore is that we want to hear from you. We want to hear your truth. We want to know what's out there to explore the unimaginable. I do have one written experience from a viewer of the name of Citrus that I will share with you now. Give me one moment and let me set that up. All right. So this story is supernatural and paranormal. It does have to do with ghosts from our good friend Citrus. So Citrus has said, me and my friend were on vacation in Tokyo, Japan. We were on our way back to the hostel, and suddenly my friend said, let's go from here. It's a shortcut. We've all been there before, right? We've all wanted to go cut through, get there faster to where we need to go. As soon as Citrus and his friend stepped onto that small alleyway, their friend asked if Citrus had said something, if maybe Citrus had made a comment of sorts. And everything suddenly went cold, and a massive wind swept by both of them. Something was making a sound behind them, or walking past almost. Citrus claims that he got chills over their body, and as someone who is able to sense spirits and who is sensitive to the other world, Citrus knew right away and said, no, there's someone or something here. And my friend, Citrus's friend, who is also sensitive, we've seen this happen very many times. Two spiritual, sensitive people in the same place, demons and ghosts are attracted to that. They can feel that energy and they can feel that. But they both agreed and they said, walk away from the alley without looking behind them. After the situation, they did agree that something had tried to make them look back, as if it was beckoning or calling them. And it was only later that Citrus had realized there was a demon specifically in Japan that tries to make them look back. I have seen very many ghosts. I have heard very many ghosts. But that sent chills down my spine. It's so difficult to look away from the unknown, from the scary. You have a feeling just in your gut that you need to look back. And to know that there are demons, there are spirits, there are ghosts that prey on that feeling, on that curiosity, sometimes it makes me wonder what's worth living in this planet if that's the way ghosts treat us. if you ever feel a strange peering from across the room, don't look. Keep your head straight. Keep on the straight and narrow. And next, we do have a caller. Give me one moment while I set that up. Hello, everyone. It is I, Red Chime, and I am here with my guest, Nana. Nana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Uh, Hello, I am Nana. Today, um, I have many stories.
Are you a sensitive person, a perhaps paranormal attracted person?
I would say no, but that just makes the incidents I have witnessed even more chilling, in my opinion.
Truly terrifying. Truly terrifying. Also, if you did not know, Nana was the one to capture the the photos of the freak,
I did. I witnessed the freak as well.
witnessed the freak, and drew those beautiful pictures and photos. Being close to someone so scary, I can only imagine the gumption it took to put that onto paper. Fantastic work. So
Why, thank you.
where would you like to start with your terrifying stories?
Well, a lot of them happened in the same location over a course of quite a few years in different times.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend, um, it was a friend that like kind of everyone in our little group kind of knew, but maybe weren't super acquainted or friendly with. But we
Mm-hmm.
had this friend who lived in a not very like good area of town. And their house was definitely fucking haunted. Something was up there, man.
So,
Um,
what was your
Sorry.
first idea that this place was haunted? Was it a specific incident or a chain of incidents?
There were many incidences that occurred here, but the first time I realized that there was a problem, or like that there was definitely something, was this friend had me over. visiting, and their mother um took their younger sister out, and while they were going out, had tasked us with cleaning up the basement.
Already right there. Ghosts love
And
basements.
yeah, they were like, "We want to make a new play place for your little sister down there, so clean it out. Bye." And that was great on its own. Um, I already kind of had a fear of basements, but it was more baseless, like childhood fear of basements, but this was definitely something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You could tell.
you could tell. Um, we were already kind of nervous, like the two of us by ourselves down there cleaning. But then the phone rang upstairs, and my friend was like, "Hang on, I gotta go get that." And she went upstairs to go get the phone and
You were
left me
left
in the
alone.
basement.
You were left alone in what we could only guess is a haunted basement. What happened next?
Uh, so I was alone for maybe all of 2 minutes in this basement. And those 2 minutes, like, there was such a dread that I legitimately thought I was going to die in that basement. Mr. Red, you're leaning.
It does happen time to time. As someone who is sensitive to ghosts, my body kind of pulls towards them.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
I may or may not have company in this room currently.
Oh dear.
Regardless, they're probably very inspired by your story. So continue. You felt
Um,
as if you were going to die. A strange presence was there.
yes, for sure. Like, and any minute, like the feeling that if my friend took another minute, I would be dead down there was like very real. And nothing ended up actually happening, but the feeling was there. And because I was friends with this friend for a long time, like anytime that we were given a chore, like, oh, go downstairs and switch over the washer and dryer, it was fearful. Like running up and down the stairs as fast as possible. And those stairs, they were the kind that have like no backs on them. Even more scary.
Demons are very attracted to that space, particularly. Um, so, did the family have any ideas that this space might have been haunted or possessed, even?
No, they usually just kind of brushed us off whenever we mentioned that it was spooky. Um, there was an instance where they actually heard this music, and I think they just brushed it off too. Um, there was an instance where I had called this friend from home, and they weren't at home, and their little sister answered the phone, and all of a sudden it cut in as if someone had picked up the other line, that there was this like very creepy music. I wouldn't call it opera music, but it was kind of like a low singing like you would hear on an early morning radio station kind of thing.
Terrifying. Truly
Very
terrifying.
staticky too. And we both kind of went quiet, and then her sister finally piped up and was like, "Do you hear that?" And we were just kind of like, "Yeah," and then hung up simultaneously.
That
Um,
truly terrifying.
but then I was at their house again another day. We were all eating dinner. That was me, her little sister, her mother, her stepfather, and we could hear this music again, just kind of like it sounded like it was coming from upstairs as if someone left a TV on, but when we went up, there was like absolutely no TVs on. It was very spooky.
Was there any thought that perhaps this was the FBI or the building had been maybe infiltrated by someone? Did they have any enemies or this was just out
Definitely
of the blue?
this was out of the blue. Definitely not CIA or FBI. Very definitely paranormal.
And this is what happens when non believers are the head of the household. Those things
Indeed.
get brushed aside. Did you have any other instances with this being or these beings in this house?
Yes, they would repeatedly run up and down the stairs when no one else was home.
Mm,
Um, my friend had seen it allegedly in in the mirror that was like facing the stairs as they were walking up it behind them.
Terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Uh, well, we would have sleepovers and like share the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of instances happened in that room. One of which was the CDs on her CD rack getting flung across the room in the middle of the night.
Like completely flung across the room,
Flung.
not
Yep.
falling out, just
Nope.
ricocheted
Yeah.
around, kind of. That's something you can't ignore. That's an issue. That's a
That's absolutely an issue. Another instance was the bed was kind of like situated under the window, so like on the opposite wall you could see the light from the window or anything, like shadows from outside, etc.
mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely saw nooses, shadows of nooses on either side of the TV on that wall from the
Terrifying.
window. Um, and in one instance, I had a physical altercation. Saw nothing, but like was physically affected.
A physical altercation with a spirit or multiple
Yes.
spirits. What's your take on this? One or
I I
multiple?
I think this is one. Now, I'm the kind of person that if I hear something happening, I'm very sensitive to like night sounds or just like houses making noises like creaking.
Most
So
spiritually sensitive people are. That's very, very telling.
so normally I sleep with like some kind of sound on, but in like at sleepovers that wasn't really a thing. So my I have a very freeze response when I hear something like that is that I just pretend I'm sleeping and nothing's happening. Hee hee. Um but I wasn't quite asleep yet. I was just kind of like laying there, eyes closed, and all of a sudden I felt myself being lifted, not completely, not like horizontally planked, but like by the waist of my pants, like as if someone had grabbed me from the waist of my pants and pulled me upwards. And not even up like into a sitting position, just like straight off the bed. Like my feet and my head were still on the bed, and then like the middle of my body was off the
They were
bed.
pulling from the center of your gravity, kind of
Yes,
thing.
yes. And I know that it wasn't a person and that there was nothing there because I opened my eyes as soon as I was dropped and hit the bed again. And then after that, nothing happened.
What did anybody? Did you tell anybody at the time, or
When my friend woke up, I told her about it. Yes.
good on you for not waking them up? You are truly braver than what other people, not braver than me, but braver than other people would have been in that situation. Um, did you have? Were you ever able to speak to this spirit at all, or
Um,
did they become more
n-
aggravated after that?
no. However, we did have a friend that claimed to be more sensitive, and when we told them about this, all this stuff happening, they were kind of intrigued, and they were like, "Next time I sleep over, I should bring the Ouija board, and we should try it out." And we were
Never.
kind of, no,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I know.
Mm-mm.
For sure. We were all kind of freaked out, but my friend, like the one who lived at the house, was like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." And so that friend came over, and we didn't, I don't think we gave them like, we didn't, she'd never been there before. She didn't know the layout of the house. She just kind of like walked in and then went to the basement door, which was closed, so you couldn't tell it was the basement. And she was like, "No, we're not doing this." Just feeling from that
Amazing.
area. Yeah.
Amazing. How old were
Yeah.
you at this point, or like what age
Uh,
range?
Probably between like 16 and 18.
Amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Hmm. But like the occurrences all together had been like maybe from 13 to 18.
So I know a lot of non believers and people who are just not curious about these things like to shrug off instances like this because it's usually children that
Hmm.
experience these situations. But from 13 to 18, you are old enough to know real from fake. You're old enough to make an opinion of what's happening around you.
For sure.
What ended up happening to that house? Did they move away or?
They moved away.
Thank goodness. I hope they are still safe. Does that person continue to have supernatural experiences?
Not to my knowledge.
And what about you? Have you continued to have supernatural experiences after all of
No.
those? Thank goodness. For
It
your
seemed to be
safety.
very it seemed to be very located within that house.
I wonder what happened in that house, with, especially with the nooses. Like, that's.
Mm-hmm.
What age were you when that happened?
Uh, I don't know, like 15, 16 maybe. Mm.
I want to say that a young person could not think that up on their own.
Oh, actually, also, this is not paranormal
Mm
related, but the fact that it was there made it even worse. Like, whoever lived in that house before them had left, and it's funny because they would have had to have like gotten up on something high to do this, but like the basement had like an unfinished ceiling. It was just like rafters.
hmm.
And someone, like some kid, had taken like red paint on their hands and just slapped red handprints on the rafters.
Haunted. Haunted. That shit's haunted.
But
Haunted.
I mean like it was paint, like it was
Hmm.
physically there. It wasn't actually blood or anything, but that's just like that just adds to it.
Sometimes it's the symbolism, right? It's the like,
Hmm.
you are leaving a mark on this house for years to come. That shit's haunted, as some might like
Definitely.
to say. Dang. Would you ever go back to that house?
No.
No?
No, that stuff scares me too much. I would never actively seek it out. Just the
Yeah.
thought of like in our hometown how we have that like haunted tunnel walk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Absolutely. Although that haunted tunnel, apparently it's just weird sounds. I feel like that's not too
Probably.
bad. It's like imagery and stuff that I kind of get nervous about. That's when I know these spirits are probably not good spirits and probably want to make problems.
Yeah.
Please don't haunt our houses.
Please don't.
Any spirits, don't haunt our house.
All right, I think that's all I have.
That was a beautiful story. Thank you
I
so
managed to
much.
get it out faster than I expected. I thought I was gonna ramble for a while.
No, it's not rambling. You are educating the masses on the
Oh, of
unknown,
course.
and you are educating the curious. Thank you so much for being here, Nana. Is there any way that people could follow you or look for more content from you?
Yeah, I am Nanaimo Bars TV on Twitter and Twitch.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm gonna get
And
over to
thank you
Joey's
for having me
story now.
on, Red. All
No
right.
problem.
Peace.
Farewell. That was a fantastic story. If you would like to haunt us, please leave your resume, and I will be accepting a few applicants. Next story we have though is from Joey Cobalt. I saw this highlighted message while we were talking to Nana. So let's jump into this. So as a kid, I grew up on a farm and we had stuff like pigs, turkeys, and of course chicken. This has happened after a day of helping out around the farm. I had gone to sleep, only to wake up in the middle of the night by shuffling in your bed. Oh, again, creatures and spirits that mess around in the bed. Terrifying. I had still been groggy and felt something at my feet. Upon uncovering myself, there was something chicken like pecking at my toes, taking them off and leaving me in pain. Oh! I jolted awake after that. Thankfully, it was a dream, but my feet were still in pain for a bit, as if it actually happened. Now, I'm not saying it might have been a vengeful chicken ghost, but chickens do the wildest things. As a paranormal investigator, as someone who has researched these things, Joey, that night you were visited by a ghost of a chicken. Maybe a chicken that did not receive enough love or care in its life, and it was desperately reaching out for you to feel more, to grab more, to be seen. You forgot to add something. Do you want me to jump back into the studio? Oh, at that friend's house, she had a cat who would sleep in the room with us sometimes, and we could tell when she stepped over us. Cats are also very sensitive creatures. Most pets in general are very sensitive to the otherworldly. Uh, they are able to see ghosts, spirits, demons, angels. We are not sure about aliens if they have any alien connections other than horses. Horses are directly connected to the extraterrestrial. This is not a lie. This is just how it is. Um, so one night I felt the footprints stepping over me, so I sat up to pet the cat, and it wasn't a cat, it was a stuffed animal. And as soon as I saw it, it flung itself off the bed and onto the floor. That house was haunted. And I want to say by children. Probably the children of non believers, the children of the uncurious, and that's why their souls were not at rest. Cows might be connected to aliens, but mostly they are connected to the devil because of milk. Milk is another thing that we might get into one day, but not today. Uh, this will actually be the end of the Shore to Shore podcast. I am receiving messages from the FBI that I must end immediately. Thank you so much for coming out and saying hello and listening in. I wish you all a very happy Halloween and very safe travels out there in the unknown. Once again, for the last time, I'm Red Chime, and this was Shore to Shore. Good night, viewers.